Okay. So how did you navigate those early days of uncertainty before her diagnosis?
Mm. I didn't. To be honest, I didn't. I kid you not. We just talked about like some of the signs of bipolar, the manic highs, the lows, the behaviors, the risky behaviors, the psychosis, and all that. We just discussed that. But I'm gonna say a lot of those signs, I just didn't. Any person can have any person can have a good day or a bad day. It does not necessarily mean that you have a mental health disorder. Doesn't mean that. So what did I do? How did I navigate? I didn't navigate it quite successfully. I can tell you that it wasn't successful at all. I never understood why our relationship was so estranged. Again, you have two kids. She's the oldest. Darwin is the youngest, of course. He's 30. It was just bizarre. I mean, it was. I mean, so much has happened. She was just defiant. She was just one defiant little girl. When I tell you every day it was something, it was something. And I'm gonna say from age 15, wait, she's 15 plus 4. It's been a very long time. Age 15 is where everything like really peaked. At age 15, I was thinking that it was more of a teenager not, smelling herself, wanting to be grown and this and that, and wanting to tell me what she wasn't going to do. And I was like, no, we don't do that. There's only room for one queen up in here, and that one queen is me. But no, I didn't navigate it successfully, because what I thought was teenage years, it ended up being her actually living with bipolar disorder, and I didn't know. Because it was really at the same time where teenagers, girls start early. I don't know what they do now, but I'm telling you, they start at 10 with pre-adolescence, and then 12, 13, 14, they're hellions, 15, 16, they get a little bit better because they're driving, and then 17, that sort of calmed down a little bit. By 18, usually they graduate off going to college. And then once they do that, then they have a better understanding as to why you lay down the law, the rules, and so on and so forth, right? But I didn't navigate it successfully at all, because there was a lot going on that I didn't understand myself. Yeah, I mean, again, I just wish I had known. I just wished I had known what was really going on with her, because again, some of the signs and symptoms, I mean, anybody can have a bad day. I have my good days and bad days. I have my moments where something doesn't go, you're working on something, or you're working towards whatever, and sometimes things don't always go the way you want it to go. That in itself can be depressing, but that doesn't mean that you're dealing with depression. So it's just bizarre. I think a lot of what I could tell you, if you've ever seen the movie with Denzel Washington, I think the movie was called Deja Vu. And I think, if I remember the premise correctly, well, I'm not gonna talk about the concept of the movie, but I'm just saying deja vu in terms of like, she is a carbon copy of her dad. And I remember with her dad, seeing her behavior and some of the things that she was doing, the extreme attitude, just nasty this nice one day, mean the next. I really didn't think anything of it, because her dad used to do that. And to be honest, I don't want to say, let me say it this way. There was just some things I just wasn't going to deal with, because I didn't have to, right? So with that said, we split, because there's some things I was like, for what? Right? So it doesn't make any sense. So with that said, I watch her to this day. I have watched her do the same exact thing that her dad was doing, like with the attitude, the outbursts, just whatever. And I said to myself, well, her dad did this. Like I don't know. I just never put two and two together until years later. And then it slipped, because remember I told you, people sometimes, they don't talk about, they're hush hush. They don't talk about what's going on in the family. If you have like a mental illness or whatever, they don't talk about it. I wish they had them. But they didn't, right? And so my point is, I didn't navigate it successfully at all, and I acknowledge it. I own it. You can't navigate something successfully that you don't even know what you're dealing with.